everyone, thanks very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan and it's great to be back. Had a couple of weeks off, travelled down to the South Island, went to AgFest over in Greymouth, and we've been making some behind the scenes changes at Weather Watch as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Let's kick off though with the animated wind map. Classic spring at the moment, that's for sure. We've got the windy westerlies returning. They'll be northwest in some areas, a little more west to southwest in others. Spring-like with high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south, and it's that low in the south that's winding those winds up further. Gusts to 120 k's an hour across Tuesday through the Southern Alps and the ranges that are nearby. So it'll be a blustery day around there, blustery through the Cook Strait region as well. But elsewhere, fairly settled with high pressure the further north you go. So let's take a look at the temperatures just for the next 3 days ahead, the departure from normal, because it shows you what is coming in. So we've got this warmer than average Tuesday, the whole country warmer than average, a bit of cloud and a breeze coming off the Tasman is the reason why it's a little cooler, some of those coastal fringes. Similar story on the other side of the North Island where there's a little bit of a breeze coming off the shore, but otherwise inland areas are warm, some spots over 8 degrees above average. Now let's compare that with Wednesday. We've got a cool down coming on Wednesday. The western side of the South Island still leaning warmer than average, but that cooler southerly being felt around Canterbury. Still fairly mild in the North Island, but again you can see that cooler change, that southerly coming in and making normal temperatures. If you see the green, that's no colouring, it's not on the key there, that's just the satellite map looking straight through to the New Zealand landscape. So average temperatures on Wednesday in many spots, but colder than average around Christchurch and Timaru. And then we go into Thursday, and that colder than average weather spreads all the way up the eastern side of the North Island. But look at this, central Otago, or at least the Queenstown side of Otago, back up to 8 degrees above normal and about average or a little bit warmer than average for the top of the North Island. So that's the next few days ahead. A burst of spring-like cooler southerlies. So let's take a look at Wednesday and you can see that colder change. The southerly flow coming through, cloud and rain for the north. Those rainfall totals are not very much. Take a look at ruralweather.co.nz or the newly enhanced Weather Watch site. We've got a few changes there. You can see the rainfall figures, but they're not that great for northern New Zealand and Auckland, along with actually most of the North Island, leaning drier than average now. So we're going back into a dry spell thanks to these big highs. And as I say, colder than average around Christchurch and Timaru. That is that colder southerly coming through for you. But by Thursday, the high out here in the Tasman, already starting to push in, starting to settle things down. Colder night. Actually, some of the temperatures overnight are remarkably low for this time of the year. 4s and 5s coming through over the next couple of nights, and we'll see a few showers lingering around on Thursday and the southerly winds blowing through. That's why the eastern North Island is colder than average on Thursday. And then we get to the end of the working week and the high is starting to push back in. Still a bit of a southwest flow, but it's not much of a southerly when you look at the origins of it. It's coming out of the Australian or subtropical areas. We've got another low forming though, and so when we go into the weekend itself, that low comes in to around Stewart Island, brings a burst of wind and rain for the South Island again on Saturday. So heavy rain moves up the west coast, maybe a couple of thunderstorms in there. The winds are blustery, back to getting gales again. By the way, this is fairly normal spring weather. And then to the north, the westerly winds are coming back in again. That means it's sunnier and warmer in eastern areas. And our final map is for Sunday, and that shows actually a cool down coming again into eastern New Zealand. Another burst of southerlies, showers coming in around Canterbury, some showers and wet weather for the lower part of the country, and another high coming in behind it. So our weather pattern at the moment is fairly chaotic. We're getting a mixture of everything. That's pretty good, generally speaking, for the country, but we could deal with a bit more rain in the north and perhaps a little bit more sun out here in the east. But otherwise, it's a pretty healthy weather pattern. Now, before I go, we've made a couple of changes to the Weather Watch website. If you look in the hourly forecasts, you can now see the cloud percentage. Helps you work out if it's going to be an overcast day or a mostly sunny day. And we've also put in there a fog alert. You know, we've got it on ruralweather.co.nz. Well, we've added that into the Weather Watch site. It'll appear as a special alert bar that only comes in for the next 24 hours when fog's in the forecast. Otherwise, you can't see it. So don't go looking for it, wondering where it is. So if you can see it, That means you've got fog coming. And we've also improved the wind arrows, just so you can glance at wind directions and it all makes just a little bit more sense. So we're adding these features to the website. We'll be adding more features as we go into 2021. And the last thing is we've put more detail into the text forecasts right across the country. So we usually only did that for the big main centres. Now you've got it in all the smaller towns and communities as well. So that's the Weather Watch website. The app will get some of those features. And the last thing before I go, we've got a rural weather app coming out very soon. I've already got it on my phone. I'm testing it at the moment. We've got a few little bugs we want to fix before we release it, but it's coming out, I would imagine, very early next year. We were hoping to put it out this year, but COVID changed a bit of our plans. Anyway, that is all from me. That's my latest update. It is great to be back, and I'm back again right through up until Christmas. And don't forget, for more details, weatherwatch.co.nz and ruralweather.co.nz. I'll be back again tomorrow.